Hi, families. I wanted to jump on really quick and remind you of a resource that I have on Clever. It is now called Resources. It used to be called Weekly Lessons. If you click on it, it's going to bring you to a different page, which is my Bitmoji class. In this classroom, there's some really helpful resources, and I just wanted to remind you of them. In the winter, I wasn't really keeping up with this as much as I wanted to, so new year, new me, I'm going to really try on Sundays to update this calendar and have it planned out for the week so that if your student needs to miss a day or if they have a doctor's appointment or they're sick or something like that, and you don't want them to miss out on the work, they can easily find what we're doing. For reading, phonics, and writing, we are using virtual units this year, so there are lessons online. They're sometimes not the exact same lesson that we're doing, but the main idea is the same. So if your student missed, reading session 1 on Tuesday, you can click here and sign in with our username, which is second4, and the password, which is PMES4, and it takes you to a short lesson that we did for reading that day. You'll see that this is also here for phonics and writing. The math lessons I have not posted yet. We do math with a slideshow and we present. So if your student is missing a lesson and you are really needing some help, there are some tricks that I can teach you. The first is to go over here to the help button, this little emoji guy, and it's my YouTube channel. I have gone ahead and some of the strategies that we're using, like part whole, making a 10, place value, I've made some family help videos. Now, there's only a few in here right now. If there is something that you know that you are struggling with teaching your student or your student is having trouble with, please reach out to me. I have no problem explaining it in a lesson, and it's probably going to help more people than you could imagine. The other thing you can do is click down here on math, and it brings you to this little page where there's math tips for parents. And this is right from our Eureka Math program. And you can scroll. And there's also a document called Homework Helpers. Obviously, they don't have homework this year, but in their math books, there are some pages that say homework that you could do for extra help. And this kind of walks you through. It will tell you the grade, which is always going to be grade 2 for us, the module that we're on or the unit, and then the lesson. There's also a copy of the kids' workbook. I know sometimes they get misplaced or something happens. So there is a copy of the workbook here if the kids are needing a copy. So today, for example, we did page 2. If they needed help, they could have printed it out, or there's even an option to open it with Google Docs. The way that you read these as well, just really quick, is up at the top where it says 2.4. That's meaning that it's grade 2, module 4, which is our unit, and then we're on lesson 1. So if you were to look back on the calendar, let me just go home for a minute. If you were to look back on the calendar and see that on Thursday we're doing unit 4, lesson 2, you would know that you're in the correct unit because you'd be seeing this 4 after the 2, and you could go and find lesson 2. There it is. And you could see what we were working on. There's also the lesson logins. There's the username and password right down here. There's also this writing room, and I wanted to show you what we're going to be doing from now on for writing. So I'm going to put some writing resources in here, some things like writing paper, some graphic organizers, any anchor charts we're using, some checklists for the kids, and a nonfiction book template. Now, this will change when we do different types of writing, but we're working on nonfiction right now, so that's what's in this room. So some of the kids like to write in their journal. Some of them like to have paper in front of them. There's a couple different kinds of paper, and you can click on the paper, and it will open it up into a document for you that you can print out. There's also, let me go back, organizers. So what we're working on, what we're experts on. So there's an organizer for an expert, and there's some subtopics they could write about. So if they told me they were an expert on dogs, their subtopics might be something like what a dog could eat, games dogs play and things dogs need. There's also some anchor charts. These are things that we'll be working on. For example, we're working right now on nonfiction writers and what types of books nonfiction books are. We're also going to work on editing in this unit. A checklist. This is going to become super important. I'm going to start holding the kids a little more accountable for their writing. This is basically like the rubric that the teachers are going to be using to grade them at the end. So they have to be looking at their writing and deciding, am I doing that? Am I starting to do it? Or am I not yet doing it? And we haven't done this yet, but this will be what we're working towards. So this is really great to print out or have somewhere so your student can see it. And then there is a nonfiction book template. I know that when we're in person, a lot of the kids like me to print out different pages to help them. So some kids might ask for a table of contents. Some kids might ask for an about the author page, or they want a page with just a little picture or a big picture or just a page with pictures. There's a diagram. Some kids like to have the name of the chapter on the top. So there's all these different types of paper that you could look through and decide which ones your student would like to have. And it's as easy as pressing print and then deciding what pages you want to print out. So I wanted to draw your attention to this Bitmoji classroom because I really think it's helpful. And I know that sometimes we don't have a lot of time to check in and make sure that there's questions answered. So this is a great place to do that. You can also dojo me, email me, get me on Clever if you have any other questions. I hope you have a great day.